of the globe, thank you for tuning in once again. And where you at? I'm glad you asked. You're here at the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice. And you're hearing my voice right now, 5 days a week. Some people call it every day. Some people call it weekdays. All of that still means we're right here. 1 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. right here on the UBM Radio Network. Now listen, thank all of you who are tuning in by the thousands, and we thank you. But here's what we're doing right now. We want all of you, when the program is over, we want all of you, at least 100 of you, to go and like the UBM radio page on social media. And then subscribe to the page so that you can now be in tune for all of the different levels of programming as we're here to change the narrative. Those of you who post, and I see it by the thousands every day, what is the solution? Well, the solutions are right here. Quit asking, what are the solutions? The solutions, many of them are right here on the UBM Radio Network. There's so many programs going on right here that answer the many questions that you're asking. But what we got to do, in the spirit of my late godmother, the Reverend Willie Chaplain Barrow, she told me, and I said over and over again, not long before she died, we are not so much divided as we are disconnected. And then there are those who keep saying we're not disconnected. And I say we are, because every day decisions are being made on our behalf in the black community, and we ain't at the table because we're too busy trying to solve everything by our damn selves. We're so busy trying to prove how we can do stuff separate from each other. And I'm here to tell you, God is my witness, I'm here to tell you, it ain't gonna get resolved that way. And so we're here to help change the narrative. We're here to do a big thing. We're here to do something about showing our operational unity, and that the love of our people is more than our dislikes of each other. And that's what we're going to be doing right here on this program here at UBM. I'm asking you all the time. You're listening and you're watching. We're not just here to analyze, but to organize. And then the question is not always what everybody else ain't doing. The question now becomes, on this platform, what are we doing? And I'm going to ask you all the time. And we're going to start carrying the role and calling the role right here. Because right here on the UBM Radio Network, we've got so many programs and answers. So it's no longer, you can't just get on social media and just post that quick post and then run off and hide. No, you can't keep asking, what are the solutions? When the solutions are right in front of your face. The question now becomes, when you say, God intervene, Jesus take the wheel, I'm telling you right now, he's put it right in front of our faces. And so the question now becomes, because I see you all the time, when we say black leadership has done the best they can do, but it's not the best that can be done, people jump on it. Because it's easier to point fingers at somebody. Right? It's easier to talk at somebody than to somebody, but here we are right here. The question now becomes, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, our communities are facing double-digit black unemployment, right? And it's everybody's answer, except the answer that is right before us. And I'm going to turn these airwaves into organizing sessions, not analyzing sessions. Everybody got an analyzing session. And Dr. King once said, not long before he died, he said, not died, assassinated. But Dr. King made an observation where he said, I'm looking at something involving our community and our strategy that I think is dangerous. Well, what is it, Dr. King? I'm glad you asked. He said, listen, far too many of our people are moving into a strategy of what he called the paralysis of analysis. And Dr. King said, we were getting to the point back then Not just now, but then he said. He planted the seed then. When he said, far too many of our people are getting into this practice of solving the problems in our community on what he called the paralysis of analysis. Well, what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. He said, we get so busy analyzing and analyzing and analyzing to the point that we analyze our way out of doing the organizing that it takes. And every day I come down here and glad that I've got this forum now to talk to you every day on what it means to have some operational unity. I look up and I think about the funeral of Reverend Willie Taplin Barrow. And then I think about what Minister Louis Farrakhan said at her funeral. And Minister Farrakhan looked in the audience, and Minister Farrakhan said, I see all of the tension and the division amongst thousands of people who've been sitting here 3 hours. Why are we here? When I can look at this audience and I can see the history of those who said, I never work with you again. I never believe in you again. But after all that division, why were all those people still sitting at Rainbow Push headquarters for 3 hours? Because Minister Farrakhan said, because of Willie Barrow. Because despite the differences that we've had, Willie Barrow was always able to come and work with us and say that despite the differences that we have, she was going to always find a way to find out what we could be united on. And that's the question that we raise today right here as we change the narrative. And the question that becomes with you. And so I look up every day. I look up every day and I see a lot of things differently. As I've said over and over again, and I can't testify enough about the goodness of God, that I've survived an 8-hour colon cancer surgery back last December. And before I could reach my first year anniversary of that surgery, I've had to sustain, and God has sustained me through 3 setbacks on my cancer and survived them all. I look at things differently now than I used to look at stuff. And so I reach out to people in that same operational unity spirit. We don't have the luxury of watching our people die because our egos are too great. We don't have the luxury of sitting around pointing fingers at everybody, calling for unity in the streets that we can't even call amongst ourselves. And so I'm here just to share what I can share from my over 40 years of experience, 40 straight years of experience in watching the movements go on. And so I've lived long enough to watch how we got through. And I'm here to share with you, here's how we get through it today. And so I get up every day and I call different people that I don't like. I call different people that don't like me back. And I share with them. Why are you calling me, Mark? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm calling you because despite our personal differences with each other, collectively, throughout our differences, we have the collective experience to help save thousands of our people in these streets. And the question becomes, are we big enough and man enough to say it ain't just my issue, but are we big enough to set aside personal differences to solve some of the major issues that are affecting our people? So the question becomes, this ain't on Shopton, this ain't on Jesse, it ain't on Farrakhan, this on us. Those of you who are listening and watching, it's on us. So can we be bigger? And do we love our people more than our personal differences with each other? And that's the question that we're raising right now. Are we here to just keep analyzing, or are we here to organize? And I'm here to share this with you because there's so much going on in our community right now. Despite it all, and I've got to be structured, focused, and positioned because I'm grateful to God for surviving 3 cancer setbacks, and I'm grateful to God to be here. I can't be everywhere, but we're here strategically. And I'm going to say it over and over again. At the end of the day, our communities are faced in Chicago right now with double-digit black unemployment. And just for me, and I can't speak for everybody, but just for me, and what National Black Wall Street Chicago is structured, focused, and positioned to do, I'm saying just for me, I'm concerned, and we'll talk about. I got a call today from the Monroe Foundation that National Black Wall Street is going to be a part of this new strategic planning meeting that J.P. Morgan Chase is having about the $40 million that they designated specifically for black community redevelopment on the south and west sides. We're there on the $20 million that we fought for that finally got into Illinois Service Federal. We're here to be a part of the over $100 million that some of our public and private financial institutions have set aside for the south and west sides of Chicago. And we're here talking about housing in Chicago. And we're here to talk about the $400 million that, despite the cuts, are still on the table for the south and west sides of Chicago. And so the question becomes, for those of us who spend tedious days going through all of these meetings that a lot of people don't want to show up at, and then those who don't show up, and then for those that do show up, then you see the people who didn't show up post on social media, same usual suspects, same usual suspects. But you're damn right. It is going to be the same usual suspects if you don't show up. And I'm telling you right here and right now, the question becomes to us, despite what everybody else is doing, and I tell people all the time, me declining requests don't mean I don't believe. It means that after surviving cancer and 3 setbacks, I can't be everywhere for everybody. I can't be on every street corner. I can't be there and do all that. But here's what I am saying. I'm asking you to help us. Don't let $400 million come on the table for South and West Side housing development, and black people ain't at the table fighting for the right for black community-based developers to get access to those dollars. Come on, don't let Chase Bank come and bring $40 million to the South and West Sides, and then we ain't at the table, right? Don't let another $100 million come through the philanthropic network, and then we ain't at the table. Then what are you doing? Are we analyzing or are we organizing? And so we're here right now to talk about the organizing that needs to be done. And I'm here to use my voice that God has given me to share with you on how we need to come together on operational unity. They call historic landmark designation for the Rosenwall, but not for Johnson Publishing Company building, the only black-owned and operated building that was in downtown Chicago. How is that? Because we're unorganized. And because we're disconnected. And say what you want. When you go to these different meetings, say what you want. But when you go to these meetings and you keep seeing other ethnic groups who come to the majority black community, and then while you're too busy talking about how separate we are, here they come under the name of minority. And then here they come applying for the business loans and the grants in the black community that were designed for black people. So you can keep talking about how separate you are. I'm here to tell you that's nonsense. And I'm here to tell you that's part of the problem. Well, who am I? I'm just veteran activist Mark Allen. And I'm here 5 days a week now to share this with you on the UBM Radio Network. Y'all hold on. I'll see.
Let your voice be heard. Call UBM Radio Hotline at 312.
Renee Burton, I see you. Corey, Pamela Barnes, I see you. Victor, I see you. Trish, I see you. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you. Yeah, put on. I know that. You still gonna say that. I can't commercial thing, get it. Courtesy of the see, I support your message. I'll get you. I miss a lot of y'all that came on the thing. I can't see the. I still gotta be able to hear the. Why can't I still hear the commercial like I used to be able to hear? Condemnation, yelling, what does that mean? Okay. I asked the same thing, it went open. What is it been asking? I'm animated. I got it. Hey, what you want to do? I'm just animated. I still can't hear. I gotta be able to hear the commercial break thing. You don't hear? Okay. Pretending about. Sandy. The Sandy. Billy Jackson. I got it. Again. Come on, I can't hear the commercial thing. How does that happen? I can't hear the commercial thing. All right, well, we're working on it. Virgin hair, popcorn. Men's and women's.
Let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment.
I hear it now.
See,
Okay.
every moment can be kind of special. They can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments.
You hear the commercial either?
Because every time dads like us,
I'll find out.
like that.
I used to be able to hear the commercial, little commercial break, so y'all can hear what I hear.
So let's take a moment.
So we'll figure that out. I want y'all to be able to hear everything that I hear. So I see what you're saying. You used to be hearing the commercial breaks, and you used to be hear everything that I hear, even during the break.
One of the most important decisions Chicago teens will ever make just got a whole lot easier.
Speaking back on now, ain't it? I think I hear it.
It's
Yeah.
a new
Y'all
online
hear it?
platform
All right,
that
I
will
got it.
stream the high school applications
Got it,
for
got it, got it.
Chicago public schools.
Got it, got it.
If you are a rising 8th grader or know of any,
Might as well just keep talking. All right, I got it.
go.cps.edu to start learning about
I see it.
CPS
I hear it too.
and
Thank you.
subscribe to receive
Well, that's how the program works. It proves that we got feedback coming.
This message is brought to you
So it
by
wasn't just me.
Broadcast Media.
Thank y'all for the feedback, but you couldn't hear.
You know me
Right,
as a race
we got
car
it.
driver. I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sports biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant,
See what I'm
amazing
saying?
people than the senior service
That's
at
what
Meals
it
on
is.
Wheels. You can make a difference
Okay, let's
by
get
dropping
some
off a
company
hot
and we
meal
do it.
and saying a quick hello. So America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at
They
americaletsdolunch.org.
pretending preachers. I don't know what that means.
UBM Radio, in conjunction with Metropolitan Apostolic Community Church, invites you to give to our efforts to help our neighbors in need in Puerto Rico, Florida, and Houston in the wake of the recent hurricanes. Bring your non-perishable items, clothing, and water donations to the Met, 4100 South King Drive, during normal business hours. If you wish to make financial donations, visit www.themet41.org. Click on the Offerings drop-down menu and select Other.
Let's talk about that too.
Brother's Keeper. Give now to the relief efforts of the recent hurricanes. A message from the Met and UBM Radio. Let your voice be
Yeah, come on.
UBM Radio Hotline at 312.
Yeah.
544.
Come on.
UBM Radio.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and people of God here in Chicago and around the globe. Thank you for tuning in once again to another edition of the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and you're hearing my voice 5 days a week, every day. We're streaming live every day, all the time, on urbanbroadcastmedia.com, urbanbroadcastmedia.com. But here's what I want you all to do. We want you all to, I want another 100 of you guys, listen, to prove that we're more about action. And I keep saying, we're not here just to analyze, but here to organize. And I need 100 more of you. When this program is over, go to the social media page and like our page, UBM Radio, and then subscribe to our page so that you can be tuned in all the time, to all of those solution-oriented programs. When people keep asking, what are the solutions? Well, then quit asking. Tune in. And then decide whether you join in or you just want to be one of those who just want to talk about it and analyze, but don't take the responsibility to put your name on the line to say you're organizing. And I didn't come to preach, but I can. Somebody said, don't be like another preacher talking at somebody, but to somebody. Well, listen, I'm glad you said that. Here's what I'm saying right now. I'm animated about what I see. I'm animated because I want to see people, and I look at things a lot differently now. After God has spared me 3 times through death, I look at things a lot differently now. And my patience may be a little short because I'm saying right now, we keep asking and talking about, we have double-digit unemployment in the black community. And when it's all said and done, the question now becomes, I don't mind taking the responsibility for saying, here's what I'm doing at National Black Wall Street, Chicago. Here's what I'm doing with the voice I got left and with the organizing I got left. I don't want to see another meeting go down when $400 million is being designated to the south and west sides of Chicago to build housing where we say we need housing. I don't want to sit in another meeting or not be there when another $100 million is set down in this city for south and west side development. I was glad to get the call today from the Roe Foundation. We're going to be in the meeting with Chase Bank to sit down with them and strategically discuss how and where you're going to distribute the new $40 million that Chase Bank has set aside specifically for not minority, but for black community development and redevelopment on the south and west sides. And so what I'm saying is, we can talk all day and we can analyze all day, but yes, I'm animated. I didn't come to preach, but I can. And the question becomes, what are we going to do at the end of the day? And so the question now becomes, what are we going to do with the over $500 million that are going to respond to these questions? And that's what I'm saying right now. That's what we're doing right now. For those that can't march, we're trying to be there. Everybody can't show up at the meeting. Well, then let Black Wall Street be there. At the housing meeting, when the $400 million is coming down. And I'm going to tell you all the time, I post this, and sometimes people tell me in some of these service meetings, you post so much stuff every day, and don't you get tired when people don't respond? No, I'm going to keep giving out information. I'm going to keep giving it out. So just because you don't show up at the meeting I go to, and just because you don't show up at these other and you might call them tedious meetings, because it takes a lot. When you see a press release said $40 million, and I saw so many Facebook posts talking about, well, we don't know if the money gonna get there, right? But you may not. But you have a lot better chance of knowing where the money was going if you supported the work and leadership of National Black Wall Street Chicago and Monroe Foundation and others who are gonna be sitting at the table when they decide where that $40 million is going. You don't know what's going on when you may not be able to make the meeting, but you can help support us who make the time to be at the meeting when the $20 million is coming down on Illinois Service Federal. We'll be at the meeting at the Field Foundation as we talk about putting another group of young people to work, training them how to be organizers and analyzers and giving out good information to the community. I'm saying it means a lot. And so I'm here to tell you, they can't frustrate me, but I do know when they tell me, Mark, you spend more, and that's just the devil talking. And I'm not gonna let the devil win, right? The devil ain't gonna win this argument, but the devil will get in your head all the time and say, Mark, you promote these meetings more than anybody moving. You promote these meetings and tell everybody where you're going, and they never show up. Don't you get tired of calling the same old meetings, and then the very people who never show up? Then when the people who do get the money, then the same people who find ways of not showing up will then show up and say, usual suspects. And I'm saying, you're right. And I remember something else that my late godmother said to me not long before she died. Reverend Willie Barrow, she said, son, remember, everybody who has the right to vote did march for it. Everybody who benefits from the free cheese that's given out, they wasn't there to fight for it. So what you gotta do, stop trying to serve and save everybody. You're gonna weigh yourself out. And so you're right. After cancer surgery, if I didn't know it before, I know it now. But after cancer surgery, and after 3 relapses, no. Because I think back sometimes, and I think back now. What would somebody say about you? Grace be to God, I survived my cancer surgery. Grace be to God, I've survived 1, not 2, but 3 relapses before my first year anniversary. And I wonder sometimes, if I didn't make it, what would y'all be doing trying to wait in line at the 2 minutes of ceremony when people die? And everybody lined up. Some who didn't help you do nothing on the front end. But here they come, lining up to get a 2 minutes when you're dead and gone. I don't want those 2 minutes. And I didn't come to preach, but I'm going to tell you, that's what I'm saying. Help me on the front side. People made me change my will. Ain't nobody getting 2 minutes. Ain't nobody coming to get 2 minutes if I die. No, tell me what you did to help me and the leadership on the front side. And what I'm saying, at the end of the day, we've got double-digit black unemployment. Do you know what could happen in terms of black unemployment if we're successful when we sit down with Chase Bank on the $40 million that you're putting on the South and West Sides? Do you know what we can do for black unemployment when we sit down with the leaders of Illinois Service Federal on the $20 million that they got from our work? Do you know what we could do if we sat down at the table when the $400 million is still being set aside for housing development on the South and West Sides? Do you know what we can do? And I'm telling you right now, we can create hundreds of more new businesses. As a result of that, sister, Carolyn Ruff, she's been protesting almost all by her damn self sometimes on 47th Street. And downtown funders were asking, that woman been protesting, complaining about the disrespect of non-black owned and operated beauty supply stores? Well, it's one thing to complain about it, but when you gonna be, beloved, when the funders and the bankers say, we're ready to fund somebody to be black owned and operated? Because these beauty supply stores in the black community could survive one day. They could survive one day without the economic spending dollars of black women. And I'm here to tell you, we want to organize more black women and more black businesses to own and operate their own beauty supply stores in the black community. That's why we're excited about Vernon Spells and what he's doing with his own black-owned hair shop in his place where I get my haircut, hair experts. We'll talk more about that. We're excited about Michael Popcorn, my cousin. We're excited about all the other men's and women's clothing stores coming on 47th Street. We're excited about Andre Bouchard, who finally won the right to own the land on 47th Street and build some more artist loft. I'm telling you, we've got work to do. So I ain't talking at you, I'm talking to you. And I'm asking, do we want to keep analyzing, or are we going to organize? And that's the end of the day. And then I made this statement last time, and I'm gonna make it over and over again. Because the question now becomes, what are you doing? And I told you I'm so proud, and we're gonna have Bruce Montgomery on this week, about the 100 new jobs that he's created in his business outreach in our urban communities. We want to celebrate the 100 new jobs. We're going to celebrate the Monroe Foundation and what we're doing now to help organize and current and new generation of organizers on how to organize. We want to celebrate that. We want to celebrate all of the work, but it ain't done, and it ain't gonna be resolved. It is just me. 40 years in this. So you can't just come to me with anything, and then if you can out-organize me, then out-organize me on what you think is important. And what I'm saying for me, at this stage right now in my life, what's important to me, and I can't be there for everybody doing everything, but I am committed with your help. We found some new people that we're preparing with the capacity to start buying their own empty lots and starting their own community gardens on these streets of Chicago in these empty lots. We're preparing others with the capacity to access those business loans and those grants that are coming to the black community that right now other ethnic groups are getting in the name under minority, but they were designed for black people. And so you can talk all day. You ain't talking around me. No, you ain't. I'm saying at the end of the day, do we sit up and watch other ethnic groups? We're mad that the Puerto Ricans have somehow convinced CAJ to let 100 new apartments? You got black people who've been on Section 8 for a lifetime, and they still waiting. And all of a sudden, while they're still waiting, you're gonna allow CAJ to put up 100 apartments while you're still waiting, and you live here. But now you gotta wait a little longer, because we gotta help somebody else who don't even live here. And we're gonna make the apartment that wasn't available for you now available for somebody else. Oh, come on. And see, it's one thing to talk about it, but if you call the secretary of CAJ and at least 100 people didn't even call, then shut up then. Your social media posts don't mean nothing. Then who you waiting on to do it if you ain't gonna do it? And again, I didn't come to preach, but I'm just telling you. Because again, it's too easy. It's too easy, but it's hard to organize, friend. And I'm telling you right now, that's why we ask for your support in what we're doing at National Black Wall Street Chicago, because we're doing a lot of the stuff that you don't want to do. You don't want to go to those tedious meetings. You don't want to go and sit up all day responding to grant proposals and grant requests and all of that. And the devil still ain't gonna win. By saying, don't you get frustrated by telling people that here's what's wrong? Don't you get frustrated by talking to thousands of people who ain't gonna show up? We're gonna change all that as we change the narrative. And what I'm saying right now, we are going to organize. And what I'm saying to you, friends, listen, and I've learned this, because I've had to, since getting back to work on my cancer, there's certain things. I've had to upset a lot of people. People keep telling me, no. I don't do, no, at this stage of my life, I'm not up 24/7. I pick and choose when and where I'm gonna show up. But here's what I'm asking for you. The next step on what we need to do is this: support the work of National Black Wall Street Chicago. Support the work that we're trying to do in a city that has over $50 billion that our community is spending every day as we speak, making everybody else rich except ourselves. And then we look up and we look at the physical violence. And far too many who look up at the physical violence won't look up and honestly look themselves in the face and say, well, here's what I did as part of the economic violence. And what is that, Mark? Well, I'm going to tell you. And you can take it or let it alone. It's economically violent for the black community to have over $50 billion that we're spending every day in the Chicago economy. And we're making every other ethnic group rich and working, and not our own people in majority black communities. And then we look up at the shootings and the violence and the killing, and then we say, God intervened. Oh, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, the wheel has already been given to you. And you can take it or let it alone. The wheel has already been given to you. And I'm going to say this over and over again. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to organize, and we're asking you. And so those that I'm saying to you, what we want to be able to do, we want to be the black economic advocacy champions. We want to be at every single meeting when they're discussing the $400 million that's supposed to come to the south and west sides of Chicago in terms of Section 3 public housing development. We want to be there at the table when the $100 million is coming down for the south and west sides for some of our private development funders. We want to be there at the table when the $20 million is being discussed and distributed from Illinois Service Federal Bank. We want to be there when Chase Bank decides it's $40 million that is decided for the south and the west side. And that ain't even all of it. There's more organizing to be done. But if we did nothing else, beloved, we're trying to be there to show our own people how to access and manage these dollars. And then politically, we're still watching every day as Illinois goes down in history of the world as the most expensive in campaign spending. And we still don't have the operational unity to be able to ask, where are those hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars going to a community that you need to elect you? Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I ain't talking at you, I'm talking to you, because at the end of the day, we got to do something. And it's got to be something other than pointing the finger at what somebody else can do. And then we're going to talk about even more. When we get back to it, we're going to get back to what you can do in this city right now. What I told you, tissue is the issue, I'm telling you right now. If I don't convince you of nothing else, I don't have to convince none of you watching and listening, and those of you on YouTube and all these other places, I don't have to convince you that you are going to spend money on toilet paper. You are going to spend money on paper towels. You are going to spend money on toothbrushes and all of that, and we're going to talk about what are you doing, and we're here. I'm veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and we're here right now, coming on the final leg of the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and hear my voice right now 5 days a week. Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock p.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. right here. And we'll be back on this UBM Radio Network.
One of the most important decisions Chicago teens will ever make just got a whole lot easier. Go.cps.edu is a new online platform that will stream high school applications for Chicago public schools. If you are a rising 8th grader or know of any, tell them and their families to visit go.cps.edu.
I see you, cousin.
CPS high schools and subscribe to receive important announcements about the opening
YouTube,
of
okay, I
the
see.
application system. This message
Okay.
is now listening back every broadcast.
Gotcha.
Let your voice be heard. Call the UBM radio hotline at 312-754-4353. UBM Radio.
I see all y'all. Hey, thank y'all for watching. And listen, keep sharing with other people. Keep sharing with other people. Jackie Muhammad, thank you so much. Remote love, God bless. And they come to preach.
When you can see learning and attention issues from your side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 to 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Also, Understood in the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
UBM Radio, in conjunction with Metropolitan Apostolic Community Church, invites you to give to our efforts to help our neighbors in need in Puerto Rico, Florida, and Houston in the wake of the recent hurricanes. Bring your non-perishable items, clothing, and water donations to the vet, 4100 South King Drive, during normal business hours. If you wish to make financial donations, visit www.themet41.org, click on the Offerings drop-down menu, and select Other. Let us be our brother's keeper. Give now to relief efforts of the recent hurricanes. A message from the Met and UBM Radio.
Mr. Trump would be to eliminate the federal government's payments at $6 billion a year to the insurance companies that provide the insurance for low-income families.
Engage in the art of conversation 5 days a week. Another perspective with Dr. Leon Finney. Weekdays at 11:45 a.m. on UBM Radio. UBM Radio.
Sound again, we're coming. All right, and we are back, I see you, and we're working on it. I know y'all like hearing when we have the broadcast going on, and we're going to work on that till you can hear it. But listen, this is veteran activist Mark Allen, chairman of National Black Wall Street Chicago, and we're here on another edition of the Mark Allen Show. Hear my voice, and hear my voice right now, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and some of y'all, that means every day. 1 o'clock p.m. until 2 o'clock p.m. right here on this UBM Radio Network. Listen, we're streaming live all the time at urbanbroadcastmedia.com, and we see you. But listen, we want all of you all to help us. I want another 100 of us. And I just saw 1,800 of y'all watching last week. So listen, out of 1,800 watching, I want 100. Listen, join the page. Go to UBM Radio. Join and like our page on Facebook, and then subscribe to the page, because here's what we're saying. Some of us, we're here. We are here. We launched this show to say that we were not just going to analyze like other people. We were going to be here not to analyze, but to organize. We're not just here to talk about it and talk the talk, but walk the walk. And if we do what we're supposed to do, beloved, other people will follow. And I'm saying it right now. I talked to one of my frat brothers earlier today about some stuff going on in one of his wards. Listen, if you got crime going on outside your store or your shopping center, here's what I tell you. Listen, depending on your religious belief, break down that religious belief. Here's what I'm telling you. On any corner, on the south and west sides, if you got problem with crowd control, call the Nation of Islam. I'm telling you. So I ain't got nothing to say about all these other security companies, but I do know from my life's experience, I do know that people in our community, they respond differently to people in bow ties. I'm just trying to tell you. Because a lot of guys in the bow ties used to be those who are now disrupting some of our business places around the city. And I'm telling you now, stop it. And you don't need no security analysis and all that. Send me the money. I got the answer right now. Here's the analysis. Go hire the brothers and sisters that do security at the Nation of Islam. And I promise you, I bet you when you come back, like we did one time, and I forgot the development on the west side. Was it Apple? It was Henry Horn. It was one of, no, Henry Horn might have been. But anyway, they did a major study on how was it that the Nation of Islam security at Henry Horner on the west side decreased crime as unarmed guards more than those who were armed watching the same developments. Come on, talk to me, somebody. I'm going to tell you. Because of the relationship building. And I'm telling you right now, I don't care where you're at, the Jewel or whatever it is, I'm telling you right now, hire the brothers and sisters to do security from the Nation of Islam. And I don't care what they buying and drinking or doing whatever. I'm telling you, the crowd will be different. And it's going to keep moving orderly when they see brothers in the bow ties. Now, I said it, I'll let it alone. So we're here, not just analyzing, but we're organizing. This Saturday, at the Rainbow Push Coalition is celebrating the return home of the Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson Sr. He's returning home, and there's going to be a celebration at a Rainbow Push this Saturday at 10 a.m. on the broadcast, all of those things that are going on the west side, not just the west side, but in all those areas that make up Maywood Township. We're going to be talking more about this, about the Monroe Foundation and others, about their first-time home buyers workshop, and the things that you need to know that's going on November 11th at 10 a.m. at the Maywood Multi-Purpose Building at 200 South 5th Avenue, right? If you need more information about what it means to be a first-time home buyer, and I know a lot of people, when they got their first home, and you know you just lied. I'm going to answer every question it means to get me in. But listen, don't go through all of that. Come to this workshop and find out what you need to know before you buy. What you need to know to be a homeowner and sustain yourself as a homeowner. Find out more about this. Now this one is going to be, they go on citywide all the time, but the one coming up in November 11th is going on in Maywood Township. Nobody call it Proviso Township. It's got Maywood and others. But so the Monroe Foundation's got that going on, and we'll be posting that too. And now somebody said on the site, you're watching on YouTube, and we're glad that you're asking about Jack Smith and others. What are the next steps? Here are the next steps for me. And I can't speak to nobody but me. Here's what I'm saying. Right now, National Black Wall Street Chicago is among some of those select groups that these developers will let in the room as they're discussing the $400 million that's being discussed for the redevelopment and development of CHA housing on the south and west side. Gonna get my brother Mark Carter on too, because despite all our differences, we're on the same page when it comes to this operational unity issue. We're gonna do that too. We're at the table when Chase Bank decides what they're gonna do with the $40 million that they have now developed. And we were at the meeting. We were at the meeting almost 2 years ago when we fought for the right for them not to have a minority development fund, and we fought for the right for them to have a black development fund. And now that they got the development fund, who's going to be at the table to make sure that those dollars come to the black community? Another $20 million we fought for years to come to Illinois Service Federal. Who's going to be at the table to make sure that more black people are at the table getting access to the dollars that we have to fight for? And we can't be there by ourselves. And you can't just sit back and watch what everybody else do and then come up with that usual suspect line. For me, I ain't trying to hear it. We got too much work to do, Jack and others. So you can help us be in position to help prepare our people for the capacity building. When I got back from my cancer, grace be to God, to Otis Monroe, who answers the call. When people say, call me if you need to. Well, I needed help rebuilding our presence as National Black Wall Street Chicago and our capacity building project. And Otis Monroe and the Monroe Foundation was there for me the minute I got out of the hospital and to get back to work to help position us to be there full time, to be back at the table, but we can't be there without you. And then lastly, I'm going to say this, because as simple as toilet paper, I don't have to convince you, all these people listening and watching, I don't have to convince none of you that you're going to spend money on toilet paper. You are going to spend money on paper towels. You are going to spend money on toothbrushes. You are going to spend money on dishwashing liquid. And I'm telling you, help us right now. Don't wait on Jesse, Shopton, Farrakhan. Nobody. The question I'm asking you, beloved, you be the ones who said, I'm going to buy my toilet paper from Black Wall Street. I'm going to buy my toothbrushes. I'm going to buy the dishwashing liquid. I'm going to buy the washing powder. And those dollars are spent by the billions. So you ain't got to wait on somebody else to put your people to work. You got the power. Jesus already intervened. God already put you in control. You got that power. Quit asking God and Jesus to give you power that he already gave you and you and you. So what you gonna do? Come on, let's do it. That's our calling to fulfill right here. And we're gonna keep on talking about it every day on the day. Keep on talking about the fact that these candidates running for governor are spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and black people still running around don't know how much is coming to the black community, and they need our votes because we're too busy being separate and can't unite on a united front. Come on, we gonna talk about it. They got to spend it. We got to love ourselves more than our dislike for each other. Our people deserve it. Our people deserve it. And they ain't trying to hear none of us talk about how separate we are, how we can talk about sophisticated gangbanging, my leadership, my color, my district, my ward, my this, while collectively we're losing. I didn't come to preach, but I can, right? So we're here, and we thank you for being here all the time, right here on the UBM Radio Network. We need you right here, not just to talk about it, but to be about it. So don't just respond to it, but hear me. We're not just here at UBM to analyze. We're here to organize. And so, say where you are. Come to the wall says it's all. Until the next time, believe in God because God is love. Love is what the world needs right now. Remember in life, nothing is guaranteed but the end of it. We were born to die. But it's not all that bad because in between birth and death, there's life. And it can be as positive as you want it to be, as long as you think positive. That means to keep a smile on your face and some warmth in your heart. And when a friend is down that they need you, you reach out and touch them, okay? And remember to always think positive, no matter how negative a situation may develop in your life. Remember that you are God's child. Yes, indeed, you are somebody. And you can do whatever you want to do, and you can be whatever you want to be with the power of your own mind. If your mind can conceive it, and your heart can believe it, know within yourself that you can achieve it. But you got to believe in yourself first, and others will believe in you too. By the grace of God, Mark Allen, hear my voice. Hear my voice. God willing, hear my voice. Thank you for listening and watching. I didn't come to preach, but I can. Listen. I didn't come to preach, but I can. But listen, friend, this is too animated. And I see a lot of y'all turned in. I mean, Ed Mitchell Jr., see you, Angela Kane, Evan Lemon, Sister Galley, Ray Mayfield, Macho Money, I see you, Wayne Cocker, I see you. Listen, we got to do this, y'all. And it's up to us. Those will follow us when we become the leaders. We will everybody else to follow and analyze them. Come on, let's put our names on the line. Tell somebody to follow us. That's just what we did to buy black toilet paper and black tissue and black paper towels and black toothbrushes. That it makes me feel good to see a lot of people on our streets who used to be selling their bodies and
brought to you by Understood in the Ad Council.
CDs and blue squares and all that. Now making a living selling legal products to people.
Is a new
and they can go home with their heads held high.
Applications for Chicago.
Because they're selling something
If you are a
legal
rising 8th grader
and not
or
illegal.
know of any, tell them
And
and their
you all
families to visit
can have the joy in saying,
to start
I
learning
helped
about CPS
somebody
high schools and
else
subscribe
do this
to receive important
because
announcements about the
you
opening
brought
of the
some black-owned
application system in
toilet paper.
August.